Hi to everyone and welcome. So before the start with the texturing, I want to show you the original project. So you can see this is not just a reference photo. This is actual project. This took me around maybe 1 month to polish, to texture, and it's a long process. And these textures, all of them, they are textured in Substance Painter. But for this project, we use a trim sheet because some of you don't have Substance Painter. You can achieve also very good results inside Blender, but for me, in Substance Painter, everything's happening faster. So also, if you like to buy this asset pack, this is available in my Fab Marketplace. There is a APX file, Blender file. Also, there is a Unreal Engine version with particle systems inside and a lot of good stuff in the project. So if you like, you can check it out. In this video, we're going to texture these elements and we're going to use trim sheet. So the materials are down in the description, you can download them, they are free. And let's continue. But before we start with the painting, I need to break down this to smaller pieces. It's going to be easier to paint this. So let's begin. First we're going to start with this part. Let's select, invert selection and height. So first I want to turn on the screencast so you can see what buttons I'm using. And now let's go to edit mode, change to top view, turn on X-ray mode, turn on the vertex mode, and let's delete these vertices. Let's delete these vertices also. Now select this one and this one and Control plus to select this part and delete vertices. We're going to leave only this part of the element. Let's change to edge mode. Select this edges and we're going to fill, mark a sharp, mark a seam, insert and insert a little bit like this. Let me turn off this X-ray mode so you can see. And now Alt and S and to scale just a little bit out like this. And now let's mark a sharp and mark a seam, and we're going to select this edge here and this one here, and we're going to mark a seam just to break this loop, because if you don't have seam here, it's going to be full square. So it's good that you break this somewhere. Okay, here we missed these edges, so let's mark a sharp and mark a seam, and let's go to object mode, and I think we can move this little bit more out. So let's go back, let's change to face mode and let's select these faces and Alt and S and scale it a little bit out like this. Like this. Yeah, I think it's fine. And now let's unhide everything. Let's select this element and again select, invert selection, height, and change to Z view, and let's let's delete these vertices. Delete vertices. Sorry, we should have turned on the X-ray mode first. So let's do it like this, delete vertices. And now we're going to select this outside and this outside and Control plus until we reach this angle here, and again delete vertices, change to H mode, select these edges, fill, mark a seam, mark a sharp, and now insert a little bit, and now Alt and S to scale this out a little bit more. And again, let's turn off this X-ray and select this here in the back and also this edge here and mark a seam. Let's check here. Let's select this H loop and now let's deselect this straight faces. So, and mark a seam and mark a sharp, because we need these edges to be sharp but not this here and this here. And let's go in edit mode, and now it's fine. Let's unhide everything. Now we have these smaller elements here, and later on we're going to use array to rotate them around. So now we're going to do the same with this element. Let's invert height and let's change to Z, edit mode, and turn on the X-ray, select these vertices and this one, delete vertices and switch on H mode, select this outside H loop, this one, fill, mark a seam and mark a sharp, and let's turn off X-ray mode and let's bevel a little bit, sorry. Like this. And let's unhide everything again. We continue with this element, select, invert selection, height, select this one, Z, edit mode, X-ray, select these vertices, this one, delete vertices, select this outside edge loops, fill, mark a sharp, mark a seam, and let's bevel just a little bit like this, and turn off this X-ray mode. Let's go to object mode, and here we go. Now let's unhide everything, and for this down part we're going to leave it like this, not going to separate it. So now we're going to continue with the material. Now let's go to the material, let's create new, let's name this Gazibo, and let's select this one, and let's add also this material. We're going to start with this element. So now let's go to shading, select this, Control Shift E, and now find where did you save the textures, select them all and add them to the material. Now let's go to UV editing. Here on the texture, insert this texture so you can see the colors and everything. And now let's move out here, make it to be on the material preview. Let's turn back this in like this, and now select all. First let's unwrap angle based. So now you can see our UVs. So now we're going to adjust them. So first change to face mode and select this part and select these UVs. We're going to rotate 90. Sorry, going to rotate minus 90 and going to move them here. Let's scale them down, and we're going to adjust this part here. We're going to scale them a little bit more. So basically this ornament should come here like this. Let's select the back part. Again, select this one and rotate 90. And you're going to scale this and adjust this here like this. Scale it a little bit down. Okay, now let me select all so I can see. So we need this face here, and Control plus, no, I think we're going to, let's first deal with this one. So let's rotate 90 and move it here on the clean rock texture. Anyway, it's not going to be visible here. So let's continue with this. So let's select, let me see all of them, press A. Okay, so now let's select this and Control plus to select everything. And now if you don't have text tools, you need to install this add-on, and now I'm going to show you for what I'm using it. So let's go to UV layout, and here you have rectify, but if the UV sync it's turned on, it's not going to be active. So first you need to turn it off, rectify, and they should be straight. Now let's rotate them 90 degrees, and we're going to move them again here on the clean rock. So let's do the same with this one, Control plus, and let's rectify. And sometimes it's not working, I don't know why. So let's rotate 90 and let's put this here on the clean one, like this. And now let's select this one, rotate 90, and let's move it here, like this. And let's select this part, Control plus to select them all, and let's rectify, rotate 90 degrees, and can move it also here on the clean part of the rock. Let's do the same with this one, and rectify, rotate 90 degrees, and let's move it here on the clean part. So let's select this one and let's scale it a little bit like this and move it a little bit up, and let's go in object mode, and let's change to layout so we can see better. And here you should change from eevee to cycles, and let's press render, and you can see the details starting to popping up. If this scene it's dark here when you press render viewport, this means you don't have HDR, so you need to add HDR. So the easiest way is that if you have Blender kit, just write here HDR, press enter, and you're going to have here plenty. So you need to find which one you like, and it's not locked, and just add HDR. And now let's go back to UV editing and continue with the shading. We're going to continue with this element. Let's select all, Y, unwrap, angle base, and select all, and we're going to rectify again to straighten them out. And now it's a little bit messy to sort them out, which element is which. So let's select this one and rotate 90 degrees, and let's move it here like this. Rotate this one 90 and move it here. Select this one, Control plus, and rotate 90 degrees, and this one also. Let's move it here. Here we have some elements which didn't rectify properly. So select this again. I'm going to fix this later. Let's rotate 90 degrees. And now let's select all this and let's rotate 90 and let's move them up. And now one by one I'll start to adjust them where they should be here. So let's select this one. first I want to change this to be on the roughness map so I can see better these white edges, so I can use them properly. So now I want to move this down. We're going to scale it, and I want to lay here like this, so we can use this white edge texture. First we need to add this material, so let's add this gazebo so we can see. And I think this element is this top element here on the top, like this. So we're looking this white edge to be exactly on the corner, like this. And also let's see outside, we can S and Y just a little bit, like this. And now we continue with the next one. Most probably this white one, it's this here down, so let's move it, and we're going to scale it again to be here on these two edges, like this. Okay, and now let's select this one and see which one it is, which one is moving. Okay, so this one, we're going to put here on the clean rock, but you can play with the texture. There is a lot of possible variations. I'm going to leave it here on the edge. Let's select this one, Control plus to select them, and let's see, this should be somewhere on the back side. Yeah, here on this side. So here I'm going to move this also here on the clean rock, like this. And let's move to the next one. Let's return this menu up, and now let's see which one is this. Okay, so this goes also here down. You can use also this one down, doesn't matter. Let's select this one, and this is somewhere on front, so this also comes here on this down edge, like this. And slowly we're going to finish with this element. Okay, this is this small edge here, so we're going to move it here on these white parts, like this. Which one is this one? This should be somewhere in front. This is like small puzzle, you know, you need to play when using trim sheet. Oh, I wonder, Okay, this is the small edge here. This also goes here. Let's move this one here like this. So I found which one is this with the ornament. So let's select this one, and you can use these roses, which looking very nice. You can move this here like this, and you can see here we have this element inside. So we need to rotate this 180 degrees like this. And now let's find this part inside. Yeah, and we're going to move it also here like this. And let's rotate this 180. And adjust. We can use also this down, these elements, but we need to scale it a little bit up like this. So it's up to you which element you're going to use, but I'm going to keep the roses for now. Also, there is a way you can use, you can select this part and don't leave it empty. You can put these ornaments here. So let's scale it. When using trim sheet, you can do whatever you want with the textures. So let's see how it's looking. But for me it's too much. I want this part to be clean and the ornaments to be just here inside this so now let's move this back on top and let's check where is this element. So this is not going to be visible. We just can move it here on the clean rock. So let's see. Let's select this part and we're going to move this here on the clean rock. It's not that visible. You can this is the problematic one, so let's try to rectify it again. Now it's fine. Okay, so let's move this here on the clean rock somewhere and let's check out how it's going. So here this should be here on the side a little bit. Let's move it like this. Okay, so here this is not supposed to be here. It should be here somewhere like this. Let me check one more time. Yeah, I think it's looking fine. So I'm going to leave it how it is, because if I start to play with each element, I'm going to lose hours. So you can do it perfectly for your project, but I think it looks okay. So let's go to layout and let's check how it's looking on the here on the shading viewport. So I think it's looking very well. You can make the material a little bit lighter, so let's go to shading and let's add gamma, and let's add it here, and let's move it down a little bit, and I think let's leave it on 0.6, and let's go out, let's go in edit mode, and yeah, it's look okay. In the end we're going to see the final result. So now I'm going to speed up the video. The point of this was to show you how to use rectify and how to use trim sheet, but if I do each element step by step, we're going to have 2 hours video and more, so let's do it fast. And now let's select these faces and let's control plus this element, and now we're going to separate selection, and let's go in object mode, let's select this one and go. No, first we're going to reset all transforms, set origins to geometry. In edit mode, select all, mesh, symmetrize, and now we should have all elements here on top, same like this one here down. So now let's join them again together, and let's go back, and now I'm going to continue with this down element. I'm going to speed up again the video, and let's continue. Now we're going to continue with the fountain and the railings. Let's add the material. And let's go back to UV editing. Y, unwrap, angle based. Let's select all. Now we're going to delete this both, and we're going to select this tool, Shift and D to duplicate, and let's reset all transforms, set origins to geometry, cursor to selection, and now we're going to scale this. And let's delete the part which we don't need, so let's select this here. And now delete these vertices. And let's move this a little bit down. Now we're going to make this top element. Let's unwrap and go paste, rectify, select all, and let's move this up. This will fix later. Now let's deal with this wireframe. So first we need to apply this modifier, and now let's go to UV editing, select all, and now I want to mark a sharp and mark a seam, and let's unwrap and go based, and let's go in layout, and here in Blender kit I'm going to search for let's say rusty metal, and we're going to select some of this rusty material. So let's check this one, how it's going to look. No, this is too browny, so let me check this one. No, I don't like this also. No, this is too bright. Let me see this one. Yeah, this one looks fine. So this is it for the metal part, nothing special. So what we left, we have this bottom part, these railings, the bench, and this top element. So I'm not going to record how I paint them. I don't see the point. You can do it, you have the material. I show you how I'm doing this. So let's jump forward. Okay, so everything is painted. Now we can continue with the arranging to add again the race and to make this to look like the original shape. So let's start with the pillars. First I want to let's go to the material preview. So I want to hide this one and this one and this metal part. Actually, let's change to this mode so it's visible. So we select the pillar, add array. Count is gonna be 8. We remove this relative offset. We choose object offset, and with the eyedropper we choose this empty. And now let's shift and S and cursor toward origin, shift and S and origins to 3D cursor. Let's change the view to Z, and now let's rotate. And let's see how it's going. Okay, we're going to leave it. Now let's continue with the railings. Let's select this one and this one. Let's join them together, and let's add array, relative offset off, object offset on. With eyedropper we're choosing this empty, and now shift and S, cursor toward origin, shift and S, origins to 3D cursor, and count will be 8. Let's change to Z and let's rotate. Okay, like this, and let's apply this and let's rotate to adjust this in the middle. Okay, so next element, let's generate array. Let's make it 8 parts, object offset, turn off relative offset, eyedropper empty, and shift and S and origins to first cursor toward origins, shift and S, origins to 3D cursor. Let's rotate. So let's Control A, reset all transforms, and now we're going to rotate. Like this. And let's apply this. And now let's unhide everything. And let's hide this one and this one, and we continue with this element. Add modifier, generate array, 8 parts. We turn off this object offset eyedropper, select this empty, Shift and S, origins to 3D cursor, sorry, cursor to world origin, origins to 3D cursor, reset all transforms, and let's rotate. And here we have this shape. And now next one. So hide this, hide this, hide this, and this. And let's take this one and generate array, turn off relative offset, object offset, eyedropper empty, and Shift and S, cursor to world origin. First reset all transforms, cursor to world origin, origins to 3D cursor. We need 4 of this element, and let's rotate. You can hold Shift to adjust it more accurate, and this element is done. So let's deal with the benches. Generate array, 8 benches, turn off this one, check this one, eyedropper, and boom. Now let's unhide everything, and we have just one element. Let's change to Z offset, generate array, 4 parts, turn off this object offset eyedropper, choose this empty, and let's rotate. And we are done with this shape. Let's turn on this viewport shading. Let's hide this one. And I forgot something. So let's switch this. And here in edit mode, let's change to Z. Let's turn on X-ray. So I want to delete these vertices, because this is the entrance, and also we have to delete the benches. So let's select the benches, edit mode. Here we have the array. So first we need to apply this array. Now in edit mode, let's change this view and delete vertices. So yeah, let's turn on this X-ray mode. Let's go out in object mode. So basically here's the entrance. So no railings, no benches. And let's check this shading. So this is it for this video. Next video is going to be for the ivy. and it's going to be the last. I hope it's going to be shorter than this one and the previous one. But again, thank you for watching and see you next time.